Welcome back to the Chattable podcast, where we learn real English in real life and rich vocabulary and feel proud.
Absolutely.
So today's episode is, it's a really fun one. We are looking at two phrases that basically capture the absolute extreme ends of human action.
Right, the total opposite ends of the spectrum.
Exactly. Like, on one hand, you have this absolute, rigid, immovable determination, and on the other, you have completely frictionless, effortless grace.
It's basically total friction versus zero friction.
Yes. And, our mission for this episode is to really master these two phrases. Keep it tight.
For sure. And hello to you listening right now. I just want to add, knowing the definitions of these phrases is great, but understanding exactly why they are used in certain contexts, like the physical sensations behind them, that is the actual shortcut to sounding like a native speaker.
Oh, 100%. You stop just translating and you start actually feeling the words.
Exactly.
So let's jump right into the first phrase, which represents that immovable object. The phrase is dead set.
Dead set. Yeah, a very powerful phrase.
I have this sentence here from a geopolitical report that really shows it in action. I'll just read it really quickly.
Go for it.
It says, the European navies have minesweepers that can help take out underwater mines through the Strait of Hormuz, but they are dead set against using these minesweepers while the conflict is still raging in the region by putting their service men and women in grave danger.
Right. So that is a heavy, high-stakes sentence.
Yeah, fear deaths.
And right in the middle, you have dead set acting as the emotional anchor. Now, the instinct for anyone learning English is to hear the word dead and instantly think of, a biological lack of life.
Right, like a graveyard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the European navies aren't literally dead.
No, thankfully not.
No, so dead here actually has absolutely nothing to do with not being alive.
It's totally disconnected from biology.
Right. It actually goes back to older English slang where dead was just used as an intensifier.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it basically meant absolute or complete or exact.
We actually still use that today all the time.
We do, yeah.
Like if an archer hits the exact middle of a target, we say they hit dead center.
Perfect example.
Or if a room gets super quiet, it's dead silence. So it just means absolute.
Exactly. And then you have the second word, which is set.
Like setting a table.
Well, more like firmly fixed in place.
Yeah.
Think of pouring wet concrete into a mold.
Oh, I see.
Once that concrete cures, it is set. You literally cannot bend it.
You'd have to break it to change it.
Right. So when your mind is dead set, your decision is completely locked in concrete.
Like no amount of arguing or bargaining is going to change your mind.
Zero flexibility. None at all.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And, our source material gave this incredible real-world example using Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah, the Apple story. I love that one.
Yeah. So picture this. It's the late 90s, and Apple is basically on the verge of bankruptcy.
Just barely surviving.
Right. And Steve Jobs had just come back to the company. At that time, every single personal computer in the industry was just this giant, ugly, beige plastic box.
They looked like weird medical equipment.
Totally. But Jobs was dead set on completely redesigning the computer.
He wanted it to be colorful, right?
Yeah, colorful, translucent, completely user-friendly. He wanted it to look like a piece of bright blue candy.
Which the industry executives thought was a terrible idea.
Oh, they thought it was commercial suicide. The engineers pushed back hard. They said, if the plastic is clear, people will see all the ugly wires inside.
Right, they were fighting him on every detail.
But he was dead set. He just said, well, then we need to design better-looking wire.
He just refused to budge.
Exactly. He ignored them, launched the iMac, and completely changed the industry. That is what it means to be dead set.
It's an unbending attitude. But we should probably talk about when not to use it.
Oh, definitely. We have to set some boundaries for you guys listening.
Because it's a strong phrase.
Yeah.
You really cannot use it for, minor preferences or flexible plans.
Right. Like, I wouldn't be dead set on wearing a blue shirt today instead of a green one.
No, that would sound super weird to a native speaker. Let's use the pizza analogy from the sources.
Oh, right. Okay, so imagine you're visiting New York City with a friend.
Classic tourist trip.
Yeah. You're walking around and you say, hey, maybe we could get a slice of pizza.
Right.
Even if you really want pizza, you are not dead set on it. Because if you walk to a shop and the line is around the block and you just say, let's just get tacos, you are flexible.
You compromised.
Exactly.
To be truly dead set on pizza in New York, you would have to be acting, honestly, a bit unhinged.
Yeah, dragging your friend past 20 other restaurants while it's pouring rain.
completely refusing to look at a burger menu.
Right. You have to be fiercely unbending. It takes energy.
It's all about friction and resistance.
Which is actually the perfect bridge to our second phrase for this episode.
Let's do it.
Because we are moving from this rigid, stubborn, high-friction state to something that is the exact opposite.
Something totally fluid.
Yes, completely frictionless. The second phrase is silky. Silky. It's such a great descriptive word.
Let me read the target sentence for this one. This is from a sports analysis piece.
Okay.
Carlos Alcaraz has such a silky tennis skill that his drop shots are often both deceptive and effective in winning quick points.
So good. And again, this comes down to the physical origins of the word.
Like the actual fabric.
Exactly. Silk is this luxurious, very expensive material. And its defining trait is that it is incredibly smooth.
It just glides.
Right. It glides over the skin. There's no snagging, no dragging. It has virtually zero friction.
But obviously, Carlos Alcaraz isn't out there playing tennis in a silk suit.
No, he's definitely in regular athletic gear.
Right, so we're taking a word based purely on physical touch and using it to describe human movement.
Exactly. Commentators adopted silky, or you'll often hear silky smooth, to describe performances that are just incredibly graceful.
Actions that look completely effortless.
Right. Like they require zero energy to execute, even though they actually require tons of practice. Okay, I have to jump in here and play devil's advocate for a second.
Sure, go for it.
I get how a physical movement, like a tennis swing, looks like a smooth fabric gliding. You can see the racket move.
You literally watch the motion, yeah.
But the sources also talk about using silky for musicians, for sound.
Yes, they do.
Isn't that just, lazy journalism? Like, how can a sound physically feel like a fabric?
It sounds like a cliche, I totally agree. But there is a literal physiological reason for it.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It goes back to friction again, but inside the human body. The source uses Bruno Mars as an example.
Oh, right, the R&B singer?
Exactly. So when critics review his live performances, they always highlight his vocal transitions.
Like jumping from his normal voice up to those crazy high notes.
Right. And for most people, the vocal cords are muscles, and stretching them to hit a high note causes a break.
Oh, like when a singer's voice cracks or sounds strained.
Exactly. That strain, that raspiness that is the audible sound of physical friction.
Oh, wow.
But when Bruno Mars sings, he bridges that massive gap between registers so cleanly that there is zero audible friction.
His voice just glides up there?
It just glides. It doesn't sound pushed or forced at all. So calling his voice silky is actually a very accurate mechanical description.
He's removing the friction from the sound itself.
Perfectly said.
That makes a lot of sense. But because it specifically implies that lack of friction, we have to talk about when not to use this word.
Right. There are strict rules here, too.
You would never use silky for actions that rely on brute strength.
Never. Silk doesn't crash or explode.
Right. The sources give some great examples. Like, if you're watching a violent, heavy-hitting rugby match.
Oh, yeah.
And a player delivers this brutal tackle that sends both guys crashing into the mud, you would never say, wow, what a silky tackle.
No, people would look at you like you were crazy.
Or like a heavy weightlifter dropping a 500-pound barbell on the floor with a massive bang.
Not silky at all.
No, those things are purely about force meeting resistance. Silk is about avoiding resistance entirely.
Exactly. So if you want to describe a ballet dancer leaping across a stage, or a basketball player shooting a perfect three-pointer.
Just a perfect smooth release.
Then silky is your word. But for a knockout punch in boxing, leave it out.
Leave it out entirely.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up this episode, we've covered a pretty amazing range of human behavior today.
We really have, from total resistance to total flow.
Right. We started with the immovable stubbornness of being dead set.
Locking your mind in, like, concrete.
Exactly, like the navies in the Strait of Hormuz or Steve Jobs stubbornly reinventing the computer.
And then we transitioned into the graceful mastery of being silky.
Gliding without friction.
Like Carlos Alcaraz on the tennis court, or Bruno Mars hitting a high note effortlessly. I really encourage everyone listening to start looking for these two extremes in your own life.
Oh, definitely.
Notice when a coworker is just dead set on a strategy in a meeting, or when your favorite athlete does something totally silky.
Spotting it in the wild is absolutely the key to fluency. But before we sign off, I actually want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Oh, I love these. Let's hear it.
It's a bit of a paradox. Think about this. Is it possible that to truly become silky at a skill, to achieve that frictionless grace.
Right.
Do you first have to be entirely dead set on practicing it?
Oh, wow.
Like, does it require extreme, unbending stubbornness behind the scenes, fighting through all that early friction, just to eventually look silky in the spotlight?
That is a fantastic question. You have to be rigid in your discipline to become fluid in your performance.
Exactly. Something for you guys to think about. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast, and we will catch you next time.
See you soon.